Ken, first of all, squad-wise, how are you fixed? Who's travelled, who hasn't?
Well, pretty much the same from the weekend. Adam has travelled with us, he wasn't available at the weekend. But other than that, pretty much the same. Austin obviously hasn't made it, but in the main the same squad as the weekend.
Excuse me.
Sorry, can you use the mic, please? Sorry.
Apologies. The Kairat manager this morning said that he felt that Celtic underestimated Kairat last week. Is that the case?
No. We always respect every opponent. We know they were going to be a good side and hard to beat, and we didn't quite play to our level, especially first half. But I think the advantage of two legs is that you get a chance to play against the opponent. We know they are really hard to beat, hard to break down, and it's really up to us to impose our game. And I think having the first leg now really helps us because we know the players we're up against, and we'll look forward to that challenge. But certainly no, we never disrespect or underestimate any team.
In terms of the enormity of this tie, how aware are the players of what's at stake? Do you need to explain that to them?
No, I don't need to explain it. I think we all, every player, every coach, manager wants to work at the highest level of club football, and for us that is the Champions League. So I think for me it's more based around it. Don't worry about failing, worrying about performance, because if you think so much of the consequence, then it can paralyse you. And that's not something that we want to do. We have to play our game, play the football that we've played in a lot of the league games this year, and if we can take that into the game, then we've got a fantastic chance of qualification.
Brendan, on the journey across here in the last few days, are you able to get a sense of the kind of mood that the players are in ahead of a game like this? Obviously so much at stake. Can you kind of gauge where the players are at? Yeah,
I think we're all very relaxed but focused. I think we come off the back of a good win at the weekend. Some of the guys getting game time. Travel, all the preparation has gone really well, so we'll have a nice session this evening to make our final preparation. But no, we're all focused on the game. But like I say, if you overthink it, and I felt we probably maybe did that a little bit in the first half, where you overthink it, so then you don't play with the freedom, and so you have to go into these games. We know what's at stake. It's very clear, but the only way you get to where you want to get to is by playing how we want to.
With Adam, do you have a big decision to make there in terms of whether he's fit enough and what he can bring to the team? It's obviously a big call, I'd imagine, for you.
Yeah. I think one, just making sure fitness-wise he's okay. But I think availability is what you want as a coach and a manager, and that gives you options within the game, whether it's to start or change the game from within.
Brendan, you obviously made some changes at the weekend, but did you see things there that you can use for this game that maybe perhaps didn't expect to be thinking about, or did you have a plan beforehand? How do you approach it that way?
Yeah, no, I was really pleased with the guys at the weekend that had come in and played, and some of them haven't not played for a little while. I think some of the connections weren't quite there, but that's natural. You get players playing the first game, some players coming into the system that are new to it. But in the main, I thought the level of performance was good. And I spoke to David after the game, and he actually was surprised by how good we were, considering all the changes within the team. So yeah, I think the players, we started that game well, and some of them did well in the game, and that's what I would expect. So it gives us great options then going into the game tomorrow night.
We also know there's been a bit of noise around the last few weeks around the club, and it's maybe, is that hard to kind of insulate your players against that noise, because maybe it's separate to what they've achieved and what they bring to the club, obviously. Have you had to work hard to kind of insulate the team from that kind of noise?
No, not really. I think we're all very focused on the football side. That's all that we actually can control, and I think in terms of the season so far, I think the players have done very, very well. I think we've played as well as we probably possibly could, apart from that first half last week. Control games and defend it very, very well, and some of them have scored goals. So I think, listen, we all know where we want the squad to be, but the value I have for the players that are here is very much there, because they've done very well and started the season well. And of course, there's noise around the outside and other things, but that doesn't affect us and how we train and how we work and how we prepare.
Is the conditions, Brendan, is it a factor for you? The long journey, the heat. You know, how do you think about that as a manager?
There's no excuse for us, especially when you see how well Kairat worked last week. So they had the same journey going the other way. So that won't be an excuse for us. And I think, as I said, we all feel fine. We feel great. We're on our own time zone, and like I say, we'll prepare, and there'll be no excuse.
Is that a mindset thing from the players' point of view? Is that something that you can just make sure they don't think about that?
Well, you have to. You have to. I think it's something that is one of the things you can control. We can give lots of excuses. The heat, of course, it is warm. It'll be warm obviously in kick-off, but it won't really wash it. We have to perform, and that's all we're focused on.
We spoke to Alistair Johnson last week, and he was saying the fact that there's so many guys in the squad who are used to the long haul journeys and playing on the back of them as well, it should actually help you guys and be more prepared for this one than some clubs might be.
Well, I think we have a lot of international players, guys like Liam and a lot of the other guys in the squad. They're used to travel. You spend a lot of your life travelling, being in hotels, preparing yourself physically, mentally. And our trip out here wasn't so bad. Guys get the chance to bond together as well. So, but like I said, it'd be nice just to get onto the grass this evening, just to have a light session and get moving again. And then, like I said, by the time tomorrow comes, we'll be ready for that. And I'm excited to see us play tomorrow in a pressure game, and knowing that we have to win, and that's what you want.
Brendan, it's a huge week for the club, obviously, with Champions League prospects at stage, then the Rangers game at the weekend. No difficulty at all in isolating those two matches?
None whatsoever. It's this is like Livingston at the weekend. We really focused on that, getting a team out that was ready and prepared, come through that. Now our focus is very much on here. We all know what's at stake, but we all know we have to play well and perform, and that's the focus. Whatever happens in the game tomorrow night, we then get back, and then we know the magnitude of that game. So yeah. So there's no loss of focus. No.
There's obviously some talk about various players coming in later in the week. Is there progress being made? Can you tell us anything at the moment?
There might be. There might be. I think by the time we get back, hopefully we'll be close to one or two things. Yeah.
Okay.
Hello, Mr. Rodgers. So, first
Hi.
of all, welcome to Kazakhstan. And
Thank you very much.
what do you think Dastan Satpayev, the main attacker of Kairat, is going to miss tomorrow's game? And he was booked in the last minute in match in Glasgow. And do you think that's going to affect how Kairat will play tomorrow? Thank you.
Well, I think he's a fantastic young player. I was in contact with the guy at Chelsea who came out here to see him play and see him work. So we know how good a young player he is. But for us, I think the strength of Kairat is the team. They all work very, very hard, very honest team, and obviously they have quality players within that. So for us, really, we respect their strengths, but really for tomorrow, we have to really focus on our own and make sure that we bring our game, and then hopefully we can get the result that we want.
Brendan, can I just ask again about, everyone talks about the kind of money that's at stake with these games, but from your point of view as a manager, is it about the prestige of getting to the Champions League? Is that coming far ahead of anything else in terms of finances?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a consequence. I think first and foremost, as a football manager and for the players, we want to be challenged and operate at the highest level. Everything else is a consequence of that. So yes, the money really doesn't come into it. Of course, it helps in lots of ways at the club, but you can only get that if you perform on the field, and that's what our job is.
Okay. Any more questions? Last one, please. Here, thank you.
Да, касательно поля, ранее вы играли в Астане на искусственном поле. Сейчас предстоит сыграть на натуральном. Можно ли сказать, что таким образом нивелируется преимущество, в данном случае Кайрата, и все в равных условиях?
in our league we have 3 artificial pitches as well. So, but I think the game tomorrow night on a grass pitch, we are going to train on the field a little bit later. But listen, it will be the same for both teams. That's what's most important, and we have to make the best use of the facilities and the pitch as we possibly can. And as I said earlier, whether it's the sun or the pitch, or we have no excuses. We're here to qualify, and that's what our focus is.